What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the PS5 Party Chat, the new thing on the Party Chat, with the fact that it can record you, how you can send it in to PlayStation to have them review people's account. I want to go over what's actually happening, and I want to go over if it is actually a disaster, if this is just a bad look for Sony. Before I jump too far into this, though, I do want to do a quick promotion on this channel. Make sure if you guys are not already subscribed that you do. Make sure that you hit the bell icon. If you guys haven't yet joined our Discord server, please do. The link for that is in our description below. Lots of awesome people there willing to talk about pretty much anything, and PlayStation is obviously one of the biggest pillars of that group, okay? Now, look, I know this has been a thing that's people have ran with, I should say, over the past couple days. I have conflicting thoughts. I'm going to just try and be as brutally honest as I can. I don't want to come off like I'm trying to overly defend Sony or that I'm attacking Sony, because I know a video like this going after Sony in any way probably is going to have its haters. So what I will say is this, and I have seen this online. There's not the biggest change in the world. Your voice could always be used for reasons that maybe you didn't want it to. Now, previously, it was mainly used in videos, and you could always, by the way, turn that off. You could turn off if you don't want your voice to appear in clips. You, of course, could just not talk, or you could mute yourself, all that stuff. So there were things like this in the past. At the same time, with what they're doing here, so to be very clear, and Sony has clarified on this, by the way, the PlayStation itself, or Sony, they do not actively record, they're not actively listening to your stuff. Now, I'm big into a lot of other things that are not just gaming. I don't know how much I would absolutely believe that. I think, well, it's actually a factual statement at this point. Pretty much every technological device that you have has the ability to record you, to capture stuff without your even knowledge. And I would say without your permission, but the issue there, and the issue I think with the world in general, let's make it a little political here, is that we do give all of these companies the permission to do that. When you open up your laptop, the fact that your laptop could actually take your face, take your recording visually, because it's got the camera, but also can hear everything you're saying because of the speaker, and they can do whatever they want with that. Now, whether they do or not, that's up to them, but that is something that just can happen. If you want to disagree with that, that's fine. Those are the facts, and those are things that we have willingly accepted, oftentimes in the terms of services for all of these things. Now, again, I'm not in this way, I'm not actually defending Sony. What I will say is, I guess legally, they do have the right to say this. When you update your PlayStation, when you accept the terms of service and all that stuff, the terms of use, you are giving them permission to do all of these things. Now, the fact that that they do say that they are not recording it, and in general, and you could take what I just said and say, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist and all that kind of stuff. In general, do these companies do that? No, not really. So, is Sony going to be monitoring my conversation with my friends on the PS5 chat? No, they're not actually going to be doing that. The issue, obviously, then lies with pretty much a system of snitching. Is that what you want to call it? I think that kind of is the way to describe it. So here's the deal. So in case people didn't know, firstly, this does not work with the PS4. This is a thing that they have, you can see it now on the PS4. They updated it, but this does not come into effect until the PS5. And when it does come into effect with the PS5, you can now use it with the PS4. So PS5 owners can take the audio of PS4 owners, right, if they're doing that party chat, and send it in. And in the same way, you can do the same thing with the PS5, with other people on PS5. So if I'm on PS5, my friend's on PS5, we're in the party chat, obviously that would work. But then again, like I said, also extends to the PS4. So pretty much what happens is there's a transcript that basically, or in a recording form that's happening, and it's always happening, and you can take that and send it into Sony if you feel like basically the terms of service in some way was breached by the person. If they're doing something hateful, if they're doing, whatever they may be doing, you can send it in, and if they find that, yeah, that person was in violation, they take action. I think in general, okay, there are rules for a reason. I'm not saying I just want rule breakers and we should be able to do whatever we want. It is the problem with freedom of speech, and that is even in my thing. I'm a really big, if you guys didn't know this about me, you probably should now. I am a big advocate for constitutional rights, okay? So especially freedom of speech. You have, and actually I do think that's come across pretty darn well in all of these videos I've done. I've always said you can have whatever opinion you want. However, as long as it's not like too aggressive, as long as it's not like hurting anybody, right? That's kind of where you draw a line, but even that is a little fluid, okay? You can say whatever you want, you can have whatever opinion you want, and that's a right that is given to you, right? As a human, as an American, right? Because of the Constitution, all that good stuff, okay? Again, the issue is how far do these companies take that basic right? So again, when you go on Facebook, when you go on Twitter, you are when you go into a restaurant, when you go into a store, you are giving up some of your rights as a person, as an American, or depending on where you are in the world, you are giving up some of your rights because they have their own rules, and you have to play by them. Otherwise, they have every right to kick you out. Now, you have the right to say that they're not right to do that, but you do have to abide by their own rules. And so that's what makes this entire thing really messy, and we'll cut to the chase here in a second there. That is what this is, I would say, with the PS5. They have every right to do this. This is up to them. It's their system. It's their network of our voices. They have every right to do it. They didn't ask us for our permission. That is one kind of sketchy thing, that they just added this update without any, we couldn't vote on this. We were not given a kind of a grace period where they said, hey, we're going to start implementing this. I guess technically this is because they're adding it, but you can't use it right now. So they have a month to hear everybody basically complain about it. Now, do we have the right to complain? Oh, absolutely. We do not. It's not like those opinions get thrown out the window or we're not allowed to talk back about it. We have every right to say, we don't like this. Now, again, do they have every right to do it? Yeah, and they actually have every right to not change it as well. And again, that is the biggest issue, is I will say, I do not like this. I do not like the ability, and honestly, I don't even know why you would do this, because now party chat is way more connected to your messages. So if you're going to do a party chat, you're going to probably be with friends. Like, how often, and even just in general, how often do you party chat with somebody that you don't know all that well? And even if you don't know them all that well, are they a colleague of yours? Are they a friend of a friend? There's generally a mutual, like relationship there, whether they are a direct, link to you, or maybe they're a direct link to somebody else that you know. And so who's really going to be using, like when I'm on a party chat, is my friend going to say something that offends me, and I'm going to say, you know what, to get back, and because that would be, by the way, very evil, I would say. If you're on with a friend, a person you would consider a friend or a colleague or whatever, and they say something that maybe you don't like, that maybe, I don't know, maybe it is hurtful, or it just says somebody or something, but they've always said it, or whatever the situation may be, am I going to rat them out and say, oh, I'm going to take your audio, send it to Sony, say goodbye to your account? You're not, the biggest issue, I guess, is you're not using this, I would say, for the greater good. The idea of it, I think, is actually solid. You shouldn't be using this for more than calling out people when they break major rules. But the people you'd be using this on are your friends anyway. So are you really, are you really going to get their account banned? Is that really what your plan is when you're playing with somebody? It doesn't make sense. And then obviously, again, there's the added thing of do they actually record everything you say? Do they actually have some sort of database where they put all that stuff in? I think they have the potential to do that. I think any of these companies have the potential to do that. Do they actively do it? No, but the point is that they're using they're taking it. And again, in a situation like this, nobody said anything. I did the update just like everybody else did the update, and they didn't warn you before, like, hey, if you do this update, this is what's going to happen. No, you signed, again, the terms of service. I did, you did, we all did. And this, by the way, again, I get that, and this is one of the last things. This is just a bad look, again, to Sony. I'm a big Sony guy. A lot of people call me a Sony fanboy, but a lot of people call me a Sony hater, and it doesn't really make sense. You can't really be both. The issue I have is, yeah, I am a big Sony guy, and I guess if you want to call me the fanboy, I would say that you're wrong, but I know a lot of people have. But here's the deal. I've called them out a ton this year. This year has just been not the greatest for PlayStation. They've made a lot of mistakes. They've done a lot of things that are questionable, and they've just had a lot of bad looks. Again, even with the Peter Parker Spider-Man thing, is it the world's biggest thing? No, but it's just not something that it's just not a good look, not something that needed to happen for your most popular, at this time, probably, biggest game. It's just not a good time for that. There's a lot of other instances. This is a big instance number 2 of like, is this the biggest deal in the world? No. Are people going to use this all that much? No. Again, are they actively going to be recording you and taking that and using that for some nefarious deed? No. Could they? I believe, again, you can call me conspiracy theorist, whatever. I believe that they could. Okay, I believe that. But I don't think that they actively are. Okay? Are any of these things the biggest deals in the world? No. But they're just not something you needed to do. You know what I mean? It's just not a good look when there's already some questions on the PS5. You've already done some shady things or some just questionable things and not had, I mean, yes, you've had an amazing year in terms of games, but how they've handled the PS5, how they've handled some of these things, even with the individual games like Spider-Man, they haven't done everything perfect, and it's just continuously, you know what I mean? They knocked it out of the park with a PS5 UI, and that's kind of what Sony does at this point in time. They can have a really bad thing happen one day, this PS5 party chat thing, and then the next day, they could make everybody just fall in love with them, which, by the way, I did, with the PS5 UI. It's like, oh my God, this is the most incredible thing ever, and we kind of all forgot, even though we do, right now we're remembering, the party chat thing. So it's very weird. It's a very weird system that Sony operates in. I am disappointed in them. I am, in a way, mad. Is it going to affect, am I still going to play PlayStation? Yeah, I'm not jumping to Xbox, but I do understand people being upset about this. And honestly, I think the way I talked about it here probably is pretty different than anybody else you may have seen. So, guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Are you disappointed in them? Are you upset about this? Let me know your thoughts. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And like I said, join our Discord if you have not already. All my other social media stuff is in the description as well. My Discord, my Twitter, my second channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.